God, is my Zoom freaking out like this? Okay, hopefully it stops doing what it was doing before. It was like focusing over and over again. Okay, let me check. Oh shoot, I put the wrong URL. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen now. Shrink this. I can actually share a tab on Chrome. That's interesting. Very interesting. How did I get shrunk that way? Oh, because the words got big. That's so weird. It's like the camera's cutting off my head. Let me see if I can sit up a bit more. It's so weird. Point the camera down a bit. Okie dokie. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm trying this new thing where the mic is pointed down at me instead of where it used to be, and I was constantly moving it like out of my way. This way it's above the computer screen, so it is out of my way, but it's weird because I feel like I need to be shouting for it to pick me up, but I'm assuming it's picking me up just fine. I could listen to myself, but I'm not going to. Something I do need to do though is plug in my old gen iPad. So um, I am saying farewell to my iPad Pro because I traded it in this, and the size difference is pretty crazy. But yeah, so I have to turn it on. I haven't turned it on in a long time, so I know that the battery is dead. I'm sure that this battery is not charged. Yep, it's completely dead. So I need to turn it on, and then I need to do a factory reset on it and put it in the box and then trigger the return. I don't know. I think there's a way for me to do that, to tell FedEx to pick up the box from my house and take it away. And basically I got the new iPad mini um for free because I'm just trading in my iPad Pro, because I realized I wrote up a blog about it. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to share it or post it, but a lot of people are probably, and a lot of people are doing the same thing I'm doing, which is trading in their huge iPad Pro for the iPad Mini. But usually it's all for the same reason. So if they don't have this other thing, then that's probably why you aren't doing it. But I have a MacBook Pro, and I found that a lot of the things that I would grab my iPad Pro for, it was like, why am I going to attempt or try to do this on my iPad Pro? I'll just grab my MacBook Pro because they're literally like a 3-inch difference from one to the other. And so I found myself never reaching for it, but I'm anticipating or expecting, and it's already been happening, where instead of using my iPhone, which is such a smaller screen, this is going to be that happy medium. So I have 3 sizes for doing 3 different types of things. So, what I've been doing since yesterday, I think I got this on Wednesday. So what I've been doing since yesterday is making a list of like all the things and all the apps and all the software and all the programs that I use, and determining um where or what device I want to use each thing and do each thing on. So let's say, for instance, I like to watch a lot of YouTube and streaming stuff. watching it on my iPhone, while I can do that, it's just really small and it's not good for your eyes. So I'm relegating all of that to my iPad. So I removed all the streaming apps, all of those video watching things, except for YouTube, because YouTube is like, I will watch that on my watch if I could. Um, so I removed all of them from my phone, and now I'm only going to watch those streaming apps like Disney Plus, whatever, either on my TV, on my, my monitor when it's docked, or more specifically, my iPad mini. That will be where I'm going to watch a lot of that. Then there's stuff like reading. I love reading articles, and I've been reading a lot of articles on this site called Flipboard, which brings a lot of articles from all these different websites that typically I would have to go to those websites directly to read. These articles is pulling it all into one place. It's almost like an RSS feed, but not really. Um, and I love it. I've been using it actually almost as much, if not more, than how often I visit YouTube. They're almost one to one at this point. So I'm watching my YouTube videos and then I'm reading articles about tech, about gaming, about writing, and about books and authors and things on Flipboard. So I have Flipboard on here. And that's the other one that I still have on my iPhone because I do like to read it on my iPhone. I like it, but I love reading it on the iPad mini. It's just a larger device. It's less strain on my eyes. So, I've been doing that. Like Scrivener, I took it off of my iPhone completely because I hated using Scrivener on my iPhone. However, having Scrivener on my iPad mini, where the screen is a lot bigger, there's much more real estate for me to work with. I can use Scrivener on my iPad mini and write. And so my hope is that once I get this whole system in place, barring having my desktop, because my goal for next Christmas, not this Christmas, because I can't afford it, but I'm hoping that Christmas 2022, I'm finally going to get the desktop that I want, um, which is the Mac Mini. So I want a Mac Mini so bad. So my hope is what I'm going to do is have a Mac Mini up here in my office. My laptop will either be a spare or it'll be the computer that I use when I'm downstairs. So I never have to bring my laptop up and down the stairs ever again. But in the interim, I'm hoping that again I will leave my laptop up here, and anything that I'm going to do that's for work, it'll force me to come to my office and to my desk to do it. But when I'm downstairs, I'm with my family, or I have my iPad mini and I can do things from that, and it'll force me to be more present in the house. Because I feel like when I have my laptop downstairs, I'm kind of like in my laptop and I'm talking to my wife or I'm watching TV, but my laptop is on my lap and I'm doing stuff. And so I'm going to try to cut that out at least until I get, something, the permanent desktop, and then I will move my laptop downstairs. And technically I could even do that today because I have another MacBook Pro that's been my spare MacBook Pro to this one, because it's like I think it's 1 or 2 generations removed from the one that I have, and the one that I have is, I believe, just 2 generations old. I think there might have been one in between this one from the newest, like, um, iteration with the M1 Max and Pro and whatever. I think because I have the Touch Bar generation, which I think was from, like, 2017 or 2019. I think is the one that I have. But anyway, my goal for today, um, is this like an empty document? I hate to open it and reveal whatever it is. I can actually use this. All right. So what I want to do today is work on my 2022 action plan. Why is this so small? Okay, let's better. 12, 13, 14. Let's double space it, or 1.5 space it. Oh, Lorestone. Oh my goodness. Hello, Vale. I'm so sorry. I was like engrossed writing a response to someone on Discord that I had my chat window blocked by by Discord. I should actually move it so that way that doesn't happen. Hello. I know I haven't been on Twitch for a very long time. This is really just kind of like a test, and it's really a test that I already know the answer to. So I will not be doing this again. This will probably be the last Twitch, the real last one, because I think my last one was like June 30th, I think, was when I had bid farewell to streaming on Twitch, and I stream exclusively on YouTube. But over the Thanksgiving Black Friday weekend sales, StreamYard had a sale that I wanted to jump on because a lot of people I know, a lot of YouTube streamers live or who upload videos use StreamYard, and so I wanted to see what all the hype, quote unquote, was about. But StreamYard, I never used it because it's like $20 a month, and I was like, that's a bit, unless I was earning enough money off of my writing or what have you to pay $20 a month. I felt like that was a bit much. But like I said, over Thanksgiving, Black Friday, they had a sale that it would be $10 a month if you signed up at that moment, and it would stay $10 a month for you for as long as you keep the plan. I think that's the idea. But in any event, so I did it, and so I'm doing this month where I got it for 10. I paid $10, so I think like next week is when it will renew for another 10, and I'm probably going to cancel it before that because it's really not for me. I don't like that it's not a program that's on my a software program that's on my computer. I don't particularly like things where it's online only. I know a lot of people do, like they love Google Docs. I use Google Docs, but and I also don't like that it's not compatible with Safari, which is the online app that I use. So I currently have two things. I have Safari and Google Chrome because I hate using Google Chrome. I feel like it eats away at my memory using it. I could probably use Firefox, which would probably use less memory, but I opened Chrome and that was that. And I only opened Chrome, and I might have even downloaded it because that was the only way I could use StreamYard. It's not compatible with Safari. It's only compatible with Chrome and Firefox. But I think with Chrome you get like extra bits or something like that. There's a bit of extra to it, but it's too simplistic. I like OBS. I like um the what's the word? I like the complexity of OBS, that you can do so much more with OBS. Even though I don't use all the bells and whistles of OBS, I still prefer it. So I am going to switch back. However, I am going to be streaming on Twitch. I'm just not going to be streaming my writing on Twitch. So and starting next week, possibly even tomorrow, I may be doing my first ever uh gaming stream. So, my plan for 2022 is to stream gaming on Twitch, which is what Twitch is really for anyway. It's for gamers. So I'm going to stream gaming on Twitch at least 2 days a week. I'm going to do 1 hour of gaming on, I think, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm going to do my writing streams for 2 hours on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So that's my goal. So right now I'm doing an action plan where I want to just kind of write out my goals and what I need to do and what I want to do in the first and second quarter. So basically the first half of 2022 from January to June. What do I want to do? What do I need to do? And I want to write all of that down, plot it all out, and hopefully get it all done because the second half of 2022 is hopefully going to be um, a race, a rat race for me because I'm going to be doing a serial and releasing that week to week, starting really in May, but well, starting in on June 6th, but really the teaser stuff is going to be happening in May for the serial that I hope to be releasing week to week beginning on June 6th. But my writing is going good. I don't know if you are aware, but I have a new newsletter. I'm gonna try to make that sound uh, less silly to say, but I have a new newsletter. Um, I actually have a super secret Twitch channel. So I've been telling everyone that I'm going to be streaming gaming on Twitch. I'm not going to use this account. I created a different account and I'm not telling anyone what it is. So because I don't want any of the people who followed me on my Twitch writing stream to feel obligated to follow my gaming stream just because. So I'm intentionally not telling anyone. If you want to know it, you can whisper me and I will whisper you what my name is. So that way I don't make anyone feel like, oh, if they don't follow me there, then, whatever. But if you want to know what it is, whisper it to me because I will only be streaming my gaming on Twitch. I'm not going to be doing this, what I'm doing right now, which is streaming in both places. I'm only going to be streaming my gaming on Twitch, and I created a whole new persona, a super secret Twitch name that I will be using for my gaming. And it's like basically the tag that I use when I game. And I'm only going to be doing Nintendo streaming. I don't have, well, I have the other ones. Well, I have the Xbox, but that's my wife's downstairs, and I don't use it, but I am a Nintendo Switch gamer. Got my Switch right here. I always have it with me, and I have all of my games behind me on this side, actually. It's in this little Zelda case back there. Excuse me while I fumble to take my pills this morning. But thank you for following my other YouTube channel. That's where I do my writing streams typically. So this will be the last time, like I said, you'll see me on Twitch. I'll be on that YouTube channel typically around this time. I'm actually doing a job account shift. So I think my hours are going to shift. So I don't know what that will look like when I do my writing streams. I may do them in the afternoon or evening instead of the morning. I don't know yet because I'm waiting to find out if I can keep the schedule I've had. Because I've been working off of kind of West Coast Central time zones versus, and I have not been working East Coast time, and I'm hoping to keep that schedule, which is that I don't start till 11, and that way I can write from either 9 to 11 or 8 to 10, which has been working beautifully. Um, really, I was starting work at noon when I was just handling West Coast accounts, but my West Coast account is gone. And then my two central time zone accounts, which is what had me starting at 11 as opposed to noon, they're both going to be taken from me in January next year when the person who was handling those accounts comes back from maternity leave. Um, so I was put on another account which I think is still technically a central time zone account. I don't think it's an East Coast account, which really at this point doesn't really matter because my job has shifted because of the pandemic so that you can literally work anywhere. And they are utilizing this to the fullest. So they're hiring people from literally all over the United States to be on accounts that can be, because typically before they wanted you to be in the state where that account was being managed and handled. So that's why when I was in LA, living in LA for I lived there for about 3 years. Um oh yeah, my refund came through. Sorry. When I was living there for 3 years, they hired me specifically because I was there. So when the pandemic happened and I decided to move, I was a bit terrified that because I was no longer there on site, that they would fire me. But instead, what happened was the client that I was managing their portfolio, if you will, they jumped ship. They left and they went with someone else. So it had nothing to do with me moving. It just had to do with that account leaving us. And um, but my top level manager let me know last week that they would be putting me on this other account, and so that I would, because I actually had no idea that that client left. So it was news to me. I'm sure everybody but me knew. But if I had known, I would have been freaking out. Like, oh, because if they leave, and then when this person comes back from maternity leave, she's going to take back her stuff. I'm gonna be left with nothing. So that means they could literally just have cut me as well. But I've been with this company for over 10 years, going on like 12 or 13 or 14 years now, since 2009. So what is that? Wait, 2009? Yeah, so that's like, I don't know how many years that is, but since March 2009, I've been with this agency, and I've been with different, they have multiple, this company has multiple agencies under them. And so I've been with, I think, 3. I've been with 3 of their different agencies, so this is my 3rd one, 3rd or 4th one. I've been around. And I think it's because of my seniority and because of the work ethic and because I have such glowing, recommendations from all the people that I worked with in all of them, in all of those different agencies. They have figured out ways to keep me, which I am very grateful for. Listen, I have a mortgage now, so whatever I need to do to to keep this job, I have to do, because unless I can get one of my writing, um, my passion to bear fruit, basically, um, to the tune of what I'm earning now in the job that I do, and that I'm able to continue to do working from home, which is just mind-boggling to me. I never even thought that was an option for me, let alone a permanent option for me. So unless I can get this off the ground before things really start to normalize, I don't I ca- I still don't feel like I still feel like I'm walking on a tightrope, honestly. They keep saying that they're not going to force anyone to come back into the office, that this will be a permanent thing, not temporary, that they understand, et cetera, et cetera. But still, in the back of my mind, I mean, coming from someone who's been in the workforce since she was like 16 years old, so more than twice how long I've been on this planet. And the idea of working from home was kind of like a privilege and a luxury that you only got 1 day a week, and only if you had been working with that company for a very long time. So to go from that mentality to like, since February of 2020, I've been working from home and I have not been in an office since February of 2020. It's just been really odd for me. Like, I'm getting paid more because I got a raise actually also. Last month I was given a raise. So to have a but one, to have a raise, and then two, to continue to do my job from home, and that be a thing is every day is, I still find it hard to believe. Let's just put it that way. I'm still like kind of pinching myself, kind of stressed out about it, trying not to think about it too much and just, live my life. But it's weird. It's very weird. Um, and trying to keep myself motivated in the same way because I'm working from home. So the motivation to do my job has to come from me, because there's no managers here, there's no other employees doing work like things here. It's me, myself, and I, right? And so that's been tough. But this week has been the probably the worst week that I've had work wise, um, since I started this job because it's just been really madness. Um, and I will be actually really glad to be rid of these 3 clients and only have 1 client to dedicate my time to, and not like right now I think I have 4 or 5, and it's a lot. It has been a lot, and sorry, I'm watching these squirrels fighting outside. There's like these 2 squirrels which must be related, like cousins or brother and sister or whatever, but they fight around the neighborhood, and they are the fattest squirrels you'll ever see. They eat really well, but they are every morning just playing and chasing each other all over the place. And I was just watching them right now in my front yard. Mm. All right, so let's think. January, February, March. So really what needs to be priority number one is finishing book one. Um, That's gotta be, like, priority number 1. The other thing I wanna do is have my, start my gaming stream. I'm so excited about, like, you have no idea. I'm gonna be playing predominantly, Pokemon and Zelda games. I will be playing the occasional like, I might play Super Mario, um, and I might play old school because, and I will show this. So, I'm getting this thing. Which I don't know if you've ever heard of Analog, but it's this company that's taking all of the old school games and re revamping them in a way where you can actually use the actual cartridge to play that game and have it be simulated in almost the exact same way and feel and form that you remember from your childhood. So for me being an 80s baby, I played all of the Game Boy and the Nintendo handheld stuff. I played their consoles when I was younger. So I started with the Nintendo. My mom got me the Nintendo when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And then I had the Super Nintendo so that I could play games with my brother when he after he was born. And then after that, we each got our own Game Boy. I stayed with the consoles. He ended up moving on to the PlayStations. So he's been a PlayStation kid since he got his first PlayStation, and I just stayed with the Nintendo handheld stuff. So after the Super Nintendo, I may have gotten the Nintendo 64, but I really don't think so. So I think the Super Nintendo was my last console. So I didn't get the 64, I didn't get the GameCube. I didn't get the Wii U. I got the Wii and then now I have the Switch. But I was like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket. I got like all the fancy attachments for the Game Boy. So I had Game Boy Advance, I had Game Boy DS, I had DS Lite. I think the only one I skipped was the 2D one because it looked hideous. Like that was the ugliest. I didn't even think it was real. Where they did that big like square looking thing where it didn't fold, it stayed open. Ugly. Ugliest thing I ever saw. And I still have my DS Lite actually, and I might even still have my advanced. I would just have to I haven't opened all my boxes yet. So I might even still have some cartridges in a box somewhere of games, and I might even have like my advanced somewhere, my Game Boy Advance somewhere in a box. Um because I can almost see it and see myself putting it in a box somewhere, and it still has the lanyard on it. But anyway, so I have so I'm gonna be repurchasing used copies probably from like GameStop or something of because this device here, this analog device, it's able to play out of the box 2,780 plus games because it can play any Game Boy cartridge, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance cartridge that exists in the library of these. And then they have these adapters that you can get So if I wanted to play Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, Atari Lynx, I can play those on here as well. I don't really care for those. I really am just thrilled that right out of the box I can play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. So I'm actually going to get the previous gens of the Game Boy games because when during college I stopped playing Pokemon and Zelda. So there's a few iterations like X and Y from Pokemon I didn't play. Um Black and White, I didn't play, like, there's, like, 2 or 3 different generations of the Pokemon game I just didn't play because I was, like, in college and, being an adult and stuff, but I'm back to playing them, like, I'm playing, um, uh, uh, Shining Pearl right now, and the reason why I even got Shining Pearl is because, um in my Nintendo DS Lite, which like I said, I have, it's fully charged. I've been playing it. I actually have Diamond in it, which the remake is Brilliant Diamond. So because I already had Diamond, I was like, I'm just gonna get Shining Pearl, and just leave it at that because I was gonna get Brilliant Diamond, but then when I when I said, wait a minute, what's in my DS Lite right now? Because I have a feeling it's a Pokemon game, and I took the cartridge out, and lo and behold, it was Diamond. So I was like, "Oh, already played Diamond, so I will get the other one." And when I booted it up, I was like, "Oh my god, I couldn't believe it." But the screen is so much better. It's bigger than the Game Boy screen, obviously. It's crisper, it's cleaner. I've been watching YouTube videos for the past week because this thing has been so popular, but because of the chip shortage and everything with the pandemic and stuff, they people were expecting to get this a while ago, but they just got it in the mail. People who did the Kickstarter for this just got theirs in the mail like a good year and a half later. So they put it up for pre-order on the 14th this week, and I went in and I'm hoping that I'm in group A because they said that because of the chip shortage again, they have to ship them out in groups. So depending on how quickly you got in the pre-order line, you're either going to be in group A, group B. Hopefully, if I'm in group C, I'll be so mad because group C isn't going to get theirs till Q1 of 2023. So it's going to be a whole year before they get theirs. I think I'm in group A, which means I would be getting a Q1 of 2022, which is so exciting. I got the white one um, because I'm trying to be minimalist. All of my bookcases in my office are white. My desk top, my whole desk actually, the legs and everything is white. So I'm trying to do a minimalist style. I wanted to get the dock because without the dock, I can't stream playing the games. Um, but the reason why I intentionally didn't get the dock is because I'm hoping they come out with it in white. I can't believe that they would do this console and only do the dock in black. I want it in white. Um, and part of me regrets not just adding the dock to the cart and getting the dock and the console, simply because it's like $26 for shipping. So if I had put the dock in there, I would have still paid the same 26 and gotten both things as opposed to now having to pay 26 twice, which was my dumb thinking at the time, but it is what it is. But yeah, if and when I get the dock, then all of the Game Boy games, all the games that I get to play on this handheld device, I will be able to dock it, and it works just like the Nintendo Switch, where when you put it in dock mode, you can play it on the TV, which I think is again when I got the Nintendo Switch and I realized that I could play my Pokemon games, which is a game that typically you could only ever play in handheld mode, and that I could play it on the TV screen. Even to this day, whenever I dock it and I realize I'm playing Pokemon on my TV right now. Like it's just my mind, my little 4-year-old mind who started playing Pokemon Blue when I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something like that is just blown. Still every time I do it. And now to think that I'm going to be able to do it and stream it on my computer is also crazy. Matsuno games. What's that? Like Ogre Battle Tactics, Final Fantasy. Uh, I've seen those get like because I watch a lot of gamers or people who review video games. Um, I don't know. I'm hesitant. Like I would love to try and do Final Fantasy, right? Um, I don't know why I'm hesitant. I think it's because I wasn't there from the beginning that I feel like to try and get into it by starting with like Final Fantasy 7 or whatever the hell number they're on right now with Final Fantasy. I just don't. The same thing with Assassin's Creed. I really wanted to play Assassin's Creed, but and I bought um Assassin's Creed. It's like it was like 2 games in 1 or something like that. And I feel like because I wasn't there from the beginning when it first came out on that first console 10 years ago or whatever, that I just feel very left out of the loop of people who have played it, since day 1, and they know all the characters, they know all the nuances, they know what's different and what's the same. So that's why for me, I'm right there to play Zelda. I'm right there to play Pokemon or to play Super Mario because I was there from day 1. So I know the original Super Mario and the soundtrack or the Zelda and stuff like that. I played almost every iteration of Pokemon there was with the exception of like a few years when I was, in college and then I started working after college and stuff like that. But so when Sword and Shield for Pokemon came out, I got them because I was like, "You know what? I'm in a time in my life where I could actually get them and I could play them. I have the Switch. Why not?" And so when the remake. And then when I found out that Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu are actually a remake of Pokemon Yellow, which I never played because it was one of the iterations that was the standalone. They always did a duo and then a standalone, and they've been doing that for a while. And I never went with the standalone. I always did the duo colors. I would get one color, my brother would get the other. So when they did like yellow, when they did green, um, when they did, I think they did, like, gold and silver, and then the standalone was, like, platinum. Like, I never did the standalone, um, and I didn't realize that Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu was actually a remake of the original Pokemon Yellow, so I'm getting it. I don't know when I'm getting it, but I'm getting it, and I'm gonna play it because 'cause I'm excited to have the opportunity to play one of those standalone colors from the whole collection. Um but to, like, show you how much I'm so pissed that the company said they're not doing these anymore, and apparently I think this or something else is, like, the last one that they're ever going to do, but I actually have, um because I love collecting these and who wouldn't? But, how do I switch my screen? Oh, like, this is the official Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield strategy guide, the collector's edition. And I think I have the strategy guide for one of the Super Mario games, like the last Nintendo Switch Super Mario game. I have it. I think it's probably downstairs in the coffee table. But I have this, and I just recently acquired Secret Between Us, which is like a behemoth, okay? A behemoth. But this is the complete official guide, the expanded edition for Zelda Breath of the Wild, which my mind is blown that they even did one because it's open world. So how could there even be a strategy guide, right? But there is, and what I love about it is because it's so big, when you open the book, it like cracks the way like an old book would crack, which typically I would have returned. Like my instinct was to return this, but I'm like, you know what? It's a special edition, expanded. It feels a little beat up, but I'm okay with that. I just love this thing, and I'm gonna go through it page by page when I play Breath of the Wild on stream, which I'm going to do. I played it for I don't know, 20 something hours when it first came out. And then I put it aside because I ended up playing Pokemon. Sword and Shield, which I then also ended up putting aside when the new Pokemon came out. Like, you get a game, you're playing it, and you play it until the next thing comes out, and then you put it away. So right now, I'm actually playing, um, and I'm almost finished with Shining Pearl, and I have to do it fast because in like literally 1 month from now, what's coming out? The open world, the first open world Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus. So I'm like, that's coming out January 28th. Already pre-ordered it when it was first announced, I don't know, a year ago. So when that comes January 28th, I'm not going to be thinking about any other game but that one. And I'm going to be playing that until, they finally announce when Breath of the Wild is coming out to the sequel, and then I'll be playing that. I was this close to buying Metroid, but again, that's one of those where it was out, like, I don't know, during the Game Boy Color. I think that was like the first Metroid game, and I didn't play Metroid. So I just feel like I'm not in the Metroid camp. Like I'm not in the fandom of Metroid, so I feel like I don't deserve to be playing it, which is silly and stupid to feel that way, but that really is how I feel about gaming in general. That if you're not there from like the first iteration of the first thing, then to try and get into it is just difficult. Um, because you don't know the nuances, and if you should like try to have a conversation with someone else who's played the game and has played it from the first thing, you feel left out. Like they know stuff, and you're like, I don't know, I just been playing this one. So there's very little, like, I don't know. Um, yeah, I love getting the game guides. Like when I got what my favorite Zelda game has been, and I've played it through already 4 times, and it's probably going to be the first game that I play when I start streaming live. I was thinking of doing a Pokemon Sword. I'm torn between Sword and this Zelda game, which is Link's Awakening, the remake of it. Oh my god, I love it. It's the most cutest, amazing thing to play through, to just play in general, because it really is like the original, but just in color, and like the graphics are slightly better, but it's drawn the same, it plays the same. I could I just knew, but I was looking for the guide. I was like, there's got to be a special edition guide for it. There isn't, which is there's one that this guy did, but it's like it's in black and white. It's like screenshots that they took. It's something that some rando person created and then put up on Amazon because they knew that idiots who were looking for a game guide would buy it, not realizing it's not like an official thing from the company. Ooh, hold on 1 second. I think I'm expecting something from the post office, and they just pulled out. Hmm. It looks like he didn't even stop to put any mail in our mailbox. That's weird. Because I'm expecting like a lot of pieces of mail. Maybe I just didn't hear it, but usually I can hear him opening and then closing it back, and I didn't hear a thing. I hope there's mail in there. Um. Anyway, what was I doing? So my gaming stream on Twitch. So I also have a list of things to continue. It's things that I've been doing in 2021 that I want to make sure I continue doing. Um, Substack is one of them. Substack is where my newsletter lives now. So if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, um, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. It's on Substack, and what that basically means is you don't have to subscribe. You could just go to my Substack page, where it's like a blog slash newsletter slash Patreon. It's like having WordPress, Patreon, um, and Mailchimp all in one. But it's even better because Um, if you're someone who has a Substack, you don't have there's no limit on how many subscribers you can have, which I think is mind-boggling because with Mailchimp, you have to pay when you surpass like 1,000 subscribers or 2,000. You have to pay a monthly fee. With Substack, it's an email newsletter and you don't pay if if you have 1,000 subscribers or if you have 10,000 subscribers, you don't pay a monthly anything. But it's like Patreon because you can have a paid version of your newsletter where people pay something every month or they pay annual or they pay a lifetime subscription and they get these special emails that only they get. And it's like WordPress because it's like a blog that's online and literally anyone can go to it. So here is my Substack right now. With all of my so if you subscribe, you got all of these as an actual newsletter. Um, but you could just come here and just, here's all of my Friday fiction, all my short stories are here that I wrote throughout the year. I was at one point writing 100 word stories. I stopped in September, which is unfortunate. I want to get back to that. I've only done 6 so far. Um, I have my creative view, which I'm revamping, which is going to be a part of my 2022 action plan. Um, Let me write that down because I realized that these posts that come out twice a week, that get emailed to my subscribers twice a week, was 100% about my writing journey, and it wasn't so much about my creative view, which is much broader, has a much broader scope than just, the tips I learned on Scrivener. So my idea is that I'm going to share, the fact that I'm a gamer. I'm going to share um, the different book series that I own and why I own them and the fact that I love, buying books and like my top 5 books of the year, like things like that. I'm going to share more of my personal view on different things beyond just tips and tricks for writers because I want these blog posts, which is my creative view, to be open to everyone who's on my newsletter and not just those specific people who subscribe to my newsletter for my tips and tricks on being a writer. I'm going to try to find a different vehicle for sharing those that are more writer specific and tips and tricks specific that isn't going to be a part of my emailed newsletter. It's going to be different. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but it's percolating in my mind. Um, it's percolating. What else is it that's on my list that I have to do in Q1? My keyboard is so dirty. My whole desk, really. I wish I could take everything off my desk, wipe it down, and then put everything back on it, but it would be just such a pain in the ass to do. I've been trying to take things off of it and like really, I'm trying to go for a minimal aesthetic. I really am. And I'm almost there because I finally unpacked all of I would say 99% of the books that I know I own and I wanted in my library or in my office are here. So now the next step is getting rid of all the garbage that's in here, like all the boxes I've unboxed, um, and all the like, I open so many things in here, and so I have like plastic and like once I can get rid of all that stuff, I can then organize my shelves because they're kind of organized, but not really. Like they still look like they're all over the place. But once I can do that, and tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, I'm getting two. I think I'm getting one or two key things that I need in order to really fix my desk. One of them is double-sided tape because I want to hide my wires under my desk because the wire situation is out of control. And I think I may have gotten a desk mat that was a bit bigger than I needed. And it's making it so that the holes that are drilled into my desk are actually covered by the mat. So it's a bit difficult to like feed wires up through those holes and then have it go under the mat and around. It's a thing. So I need to so tomorrow I'm going to try to do a gaming stream tomorrow. If I don't, it will only be because I'm going to battle the wire situation on my desk and get them all under. I have these racks things that are called J runways, which are like shaped like a J, but they stick to the underside of your desk, and you basically run and hang and put all of the wires there. And then I also have double sided tape so that I can do something about the wires that I have running along the floor for like my internet wire because I'm hardwired to the router which is here in my office. Um and so I just need to like figure it all out, especially because I'm getting the dock today. So once I have the other Nintendo Switch dock that I ordered and it's coming today, um I have all the pieces that I need in order to stream gameplay on here. Oh, you know what I don't have, which I should have brought upstairs today and I forgot, was the controller. Because my brother, I know what my brother got me for Christmas, and one of the things he got me was a Power A controller, which is going to be up here, and then my regular Nintendo Switch controller will stay downstairs with that dock. But I was going to because that the Power A one that he got me, I believe, has a you could swap the shell, so it has a white version and a black version. So I'm going to put the white shell on it, and that'll be up here to go with my white desk, white stuff. And then the dock that I got from Nintendo is the new OLED Switch dock, which is the white one. Again, I wanted to get the white Switch, the OLED Switch, but I realized it's not as new as Nintendo would like you to believe. So I'm going to wait. I just got this, the Nintendo Switch in 2019. If it wasn't sold out everywhere, I honestly would have had it because I was going to trade in my Switch Lite and my Switch because I have both of them. And if GameStop had it in stock, I could have traded both of those devices in and only paid 50 bucks for the OLED, which was 350 because they would have given me a $300 store credit for the Switch and the Switch Lite, and I was all for it, but, you know, the OLED has been sold out everywhere. Now it isn't. I could go on Walmart and, like, do an in-store pickup for it, but I gave my Switch Lite to my cousin because it turns out he didn't have one, which was crazy to me, and he actually just visited me, like, in September, and I told him, I was like, "If you had said to me you did not have a Switch, I just assumed because he and I love Pokemon, so I just assumed that he had every console, every handheld just like I did. But then he told me like a few weeks ago when I was talking to him and I said he needed to get the new Pokemon, the other color, so that he and I could trade. And he said to me, "Oh, I don't have a Switch." I was like, "Yo." So I sent him my light because, I'm a good cousin. And so he's been playing it. He's almost caught up to me with badges because I'm already up to the Elite Four, which you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I've already got all 8 badges. I beat the Elite Four. I'm actually beating no, I'm actually losing to the grand champion, and I stopped playing because I knew that she was gonna kick my ass. So so I turned it off and I haven't turned it on since because I'm just devastated that I'm gonna have to beat the Elite Four again and try to beat the champion again. Because when you lose to the champion, you actually have to beat the Elite Four to get to her again. It's the only way. It's not like you could bypass them just because you beat them the first time. So so I have to do that, and then once I beat the champion, it's kind of like an open world at that point, and I can just focus on collecting Pokemon and stuff like that. Um, anyway, good morning, Bass. What is up? I'm working on my 2022 action plan on what I need to do uh, for the first 6 months of next year. And actually, I'm gonna move these things because they're not specific to that to here. They're specific to the whole year. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, totally, Vale, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful meeting, I guess. Today, I have no meetings, and I intend to keep it that way. I blocked off my time, I think, for the entire day today, so people better recognize and leave me alone. Yeah, Q3 and 4 is gonna be like writing book 2, blah, 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 blah. So I don't really need to worry about that. I just wanna focus, like, I wanna try to really laser focus on what I have to do in Q1 and Q2 and not even think about, like, what I wanna have accomplished by next Christmas, because that's where you get tripped up and you think too far in advance and you don't really focus on what's right in front of you and how you could get that accomplished. So I think having like 2 things, um, 2 new things, I'm adding like 2 new things and keeping 3 things that I did last year into the new year, which is really not true because kind of these first 2 things are like one and the same because my creative view is my Substack. Um, but it's just making sure that I keep up with my emails and that I don't let them drop off, um, is really important to me because I've been really consistent about that. And being consistent is is a big deal. You know what else I need to put in here? I need to start work on my library. I'm actually gonna have my own library. Um or I have my own library that's on the other side of the house that I own. And I really need to be intentional about getting that done. And it's just a lot that's gonna have to go into it. I need to remove all the book boxes that are in there and put them somewhere. And then I need to rip up the carpet that's in there, find out what's under the carpet. I have no idea. I want to then lay down the same flooring that I laid down in my office in there. Then I need to put together all of the bookcases, which I think there's like 8 bookcases that then need to be built and brought into. I don't think I can build them in there because I think the room is just not the diagram of the room. I don't think it's I'm able to do it. But anyway, so I need to then build the bookcases, put them up, then open all the boxes of books and put them on shelves. Um and I've had the bookcases, so basically I've had almost everything that I need to do what needs to be done for at least 6 months now. Um so I want to see if I can get that huge project done this year. Um Another one is start work on the blue room. Yep, I'm not coming down. Yeah, last night I wrapped presents and I put them all under the tree and organized them all really nice. So I told my wife like the only things that are missing now are the presents you got for me, which you haven't wrapped yet. So she just texted me to say I'm wrapping your presents. Don't come downstairs. I said okay. I hadn't planned on going downstairs for at least another 2 hours, so she's good on that. I'm gonna go downstairs for lunch, and then I might stay downstairs. I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do. Um, did I switch my screen back? I never switched my screen back, so I've been like writing and stuff, and you guys have not been seeing what I've been writing. I just want to share my lovely little iPad Mini, which has all my fingerprints on it, because my screen protector has not arrived yet, nor has my case for it. So it's just so I've been keeping it up here because I'm terrified if I take it downstairs that bad things are going to happen. So I've actually, and it says mini on it. Actually, the box is right here that it came in, boop, right behind my Zelda. Um, so I've been keeping it up here because I'm terrified I might drop it or something. And yeah, although I haven't actually ordered the case for it, I just ordered the the screen protector for it. So I do need to get on that. It's only like $12. I don't know why I haven't ordered it yet. But I'm charging my iPad Pro so that I can so I can reset it and then put it in the box, which I have for it here already, and then get that scheduled for FedEx to come pick it up ASAP. Let me check my email real quick. So basically, I'm just really hanging out today. So if I'm not sharing my screen, it's not the end of the world because I'm just kind of chatting and stuff like that. I'm really wanting to take it easy today because um, holy macaroni. Hold on. Like, what the hell? What is 310? Sorry, our a bill just came through for our propane gas and it's the highest it has ever been. Yeah. So 36. and I don't know how to make them stop. They just come whenever and they just fill our tank whenever, and we're scared to tell them like we don't want it because we honestly have no idea um what it's fueling. We think it's our hot water in the house, but yeah, it's like almost that's almost 3 times what we usually pay when they come and put I ju I mean, luckily, I just got paid 2 days ago, but I was not expecting that. Like, that is the most. Also, where the hell is the snow? I know my wife hates that I've been, like, talking about it consistently, but, I'm really upset that for the past week, we've had, like, highs of 60. And when I look at pictures of, like, this time last year, we literally had snow going up to my hip this time last year. By now, we would have had been using the snowblower every morning and shoveling every morning. And our car would have been so buried that we would have been like, well, we ain't going anywhere for like 2 weeks. Um, and it's just mind boggling to me that yesterday it was a high of like 62 and today is going to be a high of 60. And I'm looking outside and I'm just thankful that the lawn guys said they're done for the season because technically they could have kept going for another month. Um, and that would have been another like $250 spent on lawn care. But it's like, what the hell, man? It's not going to snow on Christmas, and that's depressing to me because I'm in like central New York where it should be. We should be knee deep in snow right now, and we're not. I need to look at this for a second here. Oh, that's not what I want to look at. Oh, wow. Um, how do I do this? Wait, I need to unplug my phone. Oh boy. Okay, wait. Sweet. Okay, so now let me check. Sweet. I was expecting something today, but I have a feeling it's not gonna come today. Let me check. But I have a feeling that because it's like somewhere in Pennsylvania, and I just don't. I just don't think it's going to. Oh, hello, Silent Willow. How long have you been here? 2 minutes. My apologies. I was just looking at my phone, trying to figure something out. Yep, that's not ready yet. So, how are you, sir? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to have that go on. I knew it was gonna do that too. Like, I'm gonna click this link and it's gonna open where it shouldn't. Oh, I'm actually trying to have today be a better day. Oh, where did my window go? Sorry, guys. I just shrunk the window and I shouldn't have done that. Okay. This week has been a tough one for me work wise. And so I've been like, um, trying to keep it together. Well, it's not the weekend for me yet. It's Friday, so I still have to do today. I still have to get through the day, but I am going to get through it as unobtrusively as possible. Meaning, like, I blocked off my calendar, um, so that I don't have any meetings today. Um, I essentially have 2 things that I have to do today for work. I'm going to do those 2 things, and then that's it. Look at this. This is like every time I look at this, my mind is blown. And I bought the white one, so I'm for sure gonna be so careful with it because it's white and it could get easily scuffed up. But it's probably gonna stay up here. I doubt I'm gonna take it downstairs. Like there's gonna be so many things now in my office that are just gonna be in my office permanently and never go anywhere. But this is just like the most coolest thing ever. So I'm streaming right now, just chatting with people who come to the stream and seeing how people are doing. I had mentioned before I actually did my books in my office, which took a lot longer than it should have taken. Like, actually, let me see if I can show you. Um, but I have like 98. Oh, that was a video game that I'm a handheld. Basically, this company is remaking handheld devices to play the actual cartridge video game of previous iterations. So that you saw there was basically an iteration of the Game Boy from Nintendo, and so it can play Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games right out of the box. The actual cartridge of it, which is a huge deal, and I'm hopefully going to be getting it sometime next year. But let me just switch my camera this way, and then I think I have to take it off of the thing. But there's a mess. Don't look at that. But look, there are books on my shelves. There were books on my shelves because I actually unpacked boxes with the help of my wife. They're not as organized as I want them to be, but there's all my Terry Pratchett. That's literally all 42 books. That's all of the Red Wall series. I think it's like 19 or something like that. And then this is where my TV is going to go right here. It's going to get mounted up there. I have 2 box sets. That's Harry Potter and the Wizard of Oz that need to find a home. Um, there are some, like there's still books in those boxes that they actually have to go back into my library across the way. I just haven't taken them yet, and there's some garbage there. I have a love seat here, so I can sit there. This is on the other side of my desk, so I can sit there and watch TV right there. Um, but yeah, so I have books on the shelves. I just need to organize them better. I'm gonna probably put some wall art right here on this blank wall. I have a window there, and then the window that I look out of when I'm sitting at my desk, if I come back around the other way, I'm gonna put something there. I think I already know what I'm gonna put there, but we'll see. But this is the window I look out of. So this is the view outside of my window, which I'm gonna hopefully get a new window that doesn't have this thing in the middle. That's like one big wide window here, which would be so awesome. I don't know if I can get the camera to focus so you can see my view. So usually I'm looking down, you can't see, but this is my front yard out there. And then if I was standing like right in front of my window, there's a church that's like right across the street from my house. Oh, but let's put this back here like so. Yeah, I think that's good. That's too back too much. Okay. Whew. Let's put it back to the window that it was on, which is this one. But yeah, that's my whole setup in my office. Which let me go back to this one, which is, before, I don't know if you remember what my shelves looked like before, but there was all of these books were definitely not on my shelves before. Um, My wife did like she did the floors and she did the painting of the walls because my walls used to be like a fuchsia. Um that the previous owner had painted the walls fuchsia in here. We called it the purple room, but I wanted a deep color, like a dark blue. So this is perfect. And every all the bookcases, like I said, and my desk are white. So I intentionally did that to try and give a minimalist feel to the room. It doesn't feel that way though because it's cluttered, like there's boxes in the corners and all over the floor. So once I can get rid of all of that, like my printer is over here on the floor, I'm hopefully gonna get a file cabinet like next week because we're driving to New Jersey on the 29th. And I'm hoping that we stop off at IKEA and I can pick up the Alex file cabinet, which is like 88 bucks. And I'm gonna use that to put a lot of my little knickknacks and things, which currently are like covering here. They're covering this thing behind me, and like put them all in that file cabinet, which is gonna come and be over here on this corner here. It's a big space here. So I'm gonna put the file cabinet there. Gonna put the printer on the file cabinet over here so it's not on the floor over here. And I'm just gonna there's a lot of little things I have to do. I want to shift these two bookcases that are over here, shift them closer to the light switch, which will allow me to either put another narrow bookcase here or another file, like a file cabinet, something in this area, because this is the area over here that took the longest. It was a closet at one point, and I didn't want the closet. I didn't need the closet. So they covered it up and they put this really cool like just this wall here to cover it up, because there was no way they were going to be able to match the slat thing situation going on. So I told them they could do this, that this was fine. And so what I think I'm going to do is like turn it into like a pegboard situation, and like um I have a whiteboard, so I'm gonna do some fancy thing in that corner, um, which will be really cool. But anyway, and so when they closed that wall off, the closet that was there was butting into the room that's on the other side of this of my office, on the other side of this wall. And that room had that removed. And so that room is now it feels much bigger. It is much bigger now because that square box is taken out of there. But that room has to totally be redone because the way the power outlet was for the lighting, like it's just a mess in there. So that room is gonna be converted into a baby's room this year or 2022. And so a lot of work has to be done in there. And please excuse this thing coming down. Like this is my new setup and I'm still getting used to it. I feel like I have to speak up into the mic. Um we want a child, so we are not currently expecting one, but we want one. Either adopt or have one in the natural way of life. So we're just converting that room into a baby's room when the blessed event happens, hopefully soon. But yeah, so a lot to do, and I still have my library to do, which I actually put in here to kind of start work on my library and then start work on the blue room. That's the room over there. It's like a light baby blue. So each room in this house is painted a specific color, with the exception of our actual master bedroom. That one, the walls aren't painted. The walls aren't even actually finished. The dry wall of whatever you call it, is in our what do you call it? In our guest bedroom has them, and so we eventually have to take them and put them up. Oh, why did she say oh dang? Sorry, I'm texting my wife who's downstairs about um we just had our propane tank filled yesterday, and I just got an email for what the bill for that was, and I was like, excuse me?" 'Cause, um, it was like 3 times what it usually is, but they don't fill it every month, and so she was just reminding me, like, we haven't had a propane tank bill probably since September. So if it's like 3 times what I expected to be, then that's just because we haven't paid it for 3 months. So if you take the cost of what it would be over 3 months, then yeah, 100 and, $10 is actually fine. Especially if they're because what they do is they come every month, and which is, we don't pay for them to do that, they just do. So, it's one of those services that you set it and forget it. And so, only when we see the tank actually show up, or one time, um they were actually down there. My wife happened to be in the backyard and she was like sunbathing or whatever. And she told me like the woman scared the crap out of her because it was a woman who had come down the side of our house where our propane tank is to look at the gauge. And for whatever reason, the woman felt it necessary to stand there creepily and stare at my wife until she like felt like someone was looking at her so that she can inform her of why she was there. So that in case my wife like heard her lifting the lid or heard her make a sound, she wouldn't get freaked. But she got freaked out anyway. But so otherwise, we never like even when they come to check our electric meter to because they do it every month. They come and they just go to where the because I didn't even know where any of that stuff was. So when these people just showed up to do these things, I was like, I don't know where to read the meter is. Like I just moved into this house. But anyway, the propane tank situation, like they literally just come, but we don't even know what it actually control like, we think it's the hot water in the house. We thought it was we had a hot tub. So we thought that the propane tank was literally just to heat the hot tub, and we sold that hot tub, I don't know, 6 months ago. Um, which did decrease the electricity bill in the house because with a hot tub, you have to keep it plugged in 24/7. You can't unplug a hot tub. Um, FYI, in case you didn't know that. And so we assumed that the cost of the propane tank and the bill would drastically decrease, which I guess it kind of has because it's not like we're running hot water all the time. The only time we really run hot water the most is when we do our dishwasher. Um, what M3 are you using? What's a M3? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I have no like I know the name of the company that comes and does the gas, but like I have no idea. Like I'm not really, and it's one of those where I don't really track month to month because if we don't get a bill from them once a month. It's so sporadic when it comes that when it does come and it's a high number, I freak out because I'm like, "Oh my god, our bill was $110. What the hell?" And then but my wife has to remind me, "When was the last time we saw a bill from them?" And I'm thinking in my mind like, "Yeah, it's been like I could actually maybe I can search my email and see. When was the last time I got a bill from these people?" Let's see. So this year I got one, two, three, four. So they billed me 4 times this year. So basically, I guess it's every quarter. February, it was $50. April, $30. August was like, whoo. So from April, so that was 4 months. It was 75. And then now December, 110. So if I put all that together, divided it by 12, it really isn't that much. It's just that because they only come like once every 3 to 4 months, it's like, uh, what is happening? And I like that they started this email thing because before they did email where they would send it this way, they would just send it through the mail with like old school where it was like the first copy is like the white paper and then there's the yellow and the pink and the blue version of it, and they give you like the blue version, which is like the customer, like that's how they used to do it last year. But it started this year where they let's see, 11 gallons, 27, and then this one they filled it to 36. So yeah, she's probably right that they probably had to fill it all the way. But also I'm right, the cost has gone up because it was $2.55 per gallon in February. Today it is $3.10. So it's gone up 50 cents, 60 cents um from February to now. So in 10 months it's gone up. So I knew, I was like, that's really high. And it was probably even lower than that last year. Cuz I don't recall it being more paying more than that, but they took so long. But I don't even know how big our tank is, to be quite honest with you. I assume it's 50, but it could be 100. I have no idea. I know how big our gas tanks are that heat the house because we have two drums and each drum is 275 gallons, and we just had them both topped up a few months ago. And so we're expecting our those two tanks to heat the house to be good until at least February or March, where we may have to fill one tank to get us through to the end of winter. Um, the price tag on my gas, it was, how much did we pay? And we paid in cash. Let me tell you. I might actually have that written down. We have to pay in cash because in order to pay by credit card, we have to go into the office to like sign this paperwork and stuff so they could see us, which we're too lazy to do. And so every time we get, and we don't fill our tanks very often. Like I said, we fill it, the two tanks, and then we end up using both tanks. And so we fill one of them, and then that gets us through the winter of like 6 months of winter. And so because we only have to pay them twice a year, we don't feel the need to have to go in and like do all that stuff. But we did recently open a local bank, and so we can use a check. So the next time we have them fill like one of the tanks, we're actually going to write a check, which is going to be awesome because withdrawing over $1,000 from a bank takes several days because a ATM only gives you like 300 or $400, and usually you can only do that twice. So I remember this last time, I want to say it was almost 1,600. I feel it was definitely more than last year. That I know, but that's also because we waited too long. Last year, we filled our tanks in like September so that we basically, because we've only been here a year, so what am I saying? We basically filled the tanks within like a month and a half of us living in this house. We called and we had them come and fill the tanks because the previous owner did not have to have or leave the tanks filled for us, but they did have it filled to, I want to say one of the tanks was filled like 3/4 of the way. So it but even so, it wasn't as much as it was this time. This time was like, how much are we talking here? Um, but like I said, I think I wrote that down. Uh, Actually, no, I did not write down how much, because usually when they tell me, I like write it down in a note real quick because I'm also expecting a check in the mail, actually. for like $1,400 from my mortgage because we had a surplus, which is so our surplus disbursement is coming in the mail, which I'm so excited because that's like part one of like our tax refund in a way. So we're getting that, and then I'm gonna do file our taxes in January, and hopefully we'll be getting money back from that because last year we owed, which was not fun. We owed a lot of money last year because we switched states, and we switched states from one expensive tax state to another expensive tax state. So where I would normally have expected a refund, last year was the first year in my life of living where we owed New York state taxes to the tune of like, I don't know, $1,500. Um, which was out of control. But in a way, we're kind of getting that money back because our house mortgage situation had a surplus. So we're getting money back from that. But they sent a check in like October and we never got it. So luckily, I even looked to see that they had sent that because I had no idea. I was like, what the hell is a surplus disbursement? I had to Google it. Um, but yeah, so they're resending that check. Thank God. Hopefully it comes next week. If it comes before Christmas, that would be even such a nice Christmas present to be able to deposit $1,400. Amen. Okay, so let's come back to what I was doing here, which is my Grandmaster plan. Um, book one breakdown. Let's be serious. So I just put like what I want to do in the year, but now I want to put how exactly I'm going to divide and conquer all the things that I want to do. Um, you know, my quarter to 11. I just want to, even though I know that I'm going to be doing only two things for work today. Today's it should be really quiet for work because one is Friday and two it's like right before the holidays, and I know a lot of people took took like all of next week starting with today, and they won't be back till January 3rd. So I'm expecting next week to be even more quiet. But today I'm not surprised that I have like almost no emails. Okay, sweet. So that's what I'm gonna do when I get off stream. I might even do it on stream, just won't show you what I'm doing. I'm just looking at my work email right now, confirming what I already know, which is that I have no meetings today. Praise the good Lord. What is this? I might have to go visit the necessary in a minute. Oh, okay. Why are you sending me this text now? Like, they delivered that days ago. Oh, you know what? I'm not even again, I'm not showing you guys what I'm doing. Let's go back. Okay. So I'm gonna break this down into months. So we're gonna do January. Actually, let's do it this way. January at 1. Oh, I know what my phone is doing. It's like it's doing a major update. Hold on 1 second. I told my phone I wanted UPS updates on one specific package, but it's giving me updates on every package coming from UPS, even outside of the just one info I wanted. Out of control. Okay, so I think I need to open an account. You know what? I'm gonna use this is a perfect opportunity to use my iPad mini. I feel like I need to move these stones off my desk because they are taking up valuable space. So give me a minute here. I think I'm gonna put them. Move this over here like that, and I'm gonna put these that time over here because on my desk they're just in my way. These are 4 crystals that I got from like a Kickstarter because I'm a sucker for Kickstarters, and this was probably the one Kickstarter that I typically would never have gotten, but I was just so fascinated by the whole thing that I did. But I will never do another like Kickstarter like this again, where I get something like this. Any Kickstarter I do will make sense. Like I have two more, I think two more Kickstarters coming. Um, and both of them are designed tarot cards, which I'm really excited about. Okay, so now that I put those behind me, they are off my desk, which is amazing because now I feel like my desk has so much more space to it. Okay, so I'm actually going to use my mini to open a calendar. I'm still getting used to having to I've never had Touch ID as like the button before. So it's taking me some getting used to for sure. Um, I have to text my cousin. Okay, opening my calendar. I'm gonna look at the month view. Turn it side like so. Perfect. Actually, do I want to look at the year? Let's look at the year. And I'm gonna actually put it right in front of me. Like this. Oh man, I love this setup already. Love it already. Move my water bottle over here. Oh, this is great. This is great. Oh, can I look at 2022, please? Thank you. 14. Probably saying, what the hell are you doing? This is how I like to break things down to like the finite details because I want to leave no room for error. And I really, if I have like these kinds of deadlines set up for myself, then it just makes my life that much easier. So I've got 13 days in January. Actually, I don't. I just realized Fridays are off limits. Basically after the 14th, so this is out 2 days here. Only 11 days. I just realized Fridays are out. Okay. Wednesday, 9/16, 23. Is need to give myself just these 3 months. March is, unless I can double up on what I'm about to do for the next step, which you will see in a second. March is the same. Oops. Monday. 7, 14, 21. 8 is 2, 9. Is Lord, thank you for is. Let's just do a total here. 17, 11 is 28 days. Which technically should be enough days to write all the chapters for this book. I have Excel open? Oh yes, I do have Excel open. I remember now. Let me open Scrivener real quick. Just so that I can confirm chapter count here. Okay, let's close this one. I need to write this up here. This one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14 for this one. 6 for this one. Oh geez. 30. If I've got 20 plus 10, yep, that's 30. Okay. And this is 28 days. So technically, I can do a chapter a day and then at the very end, just bring it home and round out the 30 chapters in 28 days. But that's only if I do a chapter a day. Minimum. And what helps is I've already written a couple chapters. I think, let's see. Yeah, I wrote 2. So really, that means I should be able to, because if I'm writing 30 chapters and I wrote 2, that leaves 28 chapters, 28 days I have. So, I mean, let's do this, right? Um, that's gonna be my goal. And I think I'm gonna put up when I do my whiteboard over here, I'm going to do what do you call it? I just realized I've been on mute that whole time. So this is going to be my breakdown for my editing days. Um, and I know what you're probably thinking, like, that can't be it. What I'm doing here, this is because I'm going to be releasing these chapters as a serial on my Substack. So essentially, um, I'm hoping to engage with my audience and with the readers in asking them what they like and don't like as they're reading this book chapter to chapter. So the reason why I'm only going to do red pen edits and then pro writing aid is because I'm essentially going to be using my subscribers um, as beta readers. And so they're going to point out any, uh, grammatical issues, spelling errors, and pacing of the story, mostly pacing. I don't want them to do the other stuff. I just want them to do mostly pacing because um, the rest of the calendar year, what it's going to look like is now I'm going to be releasing these chapter by chapter starting in June. And that's going to take me, I think, 9 months from June all the way through to like March of 2023 of releasing these chapter by chapter every Sunday. It's going to be like 9 to 10 months because it's 30 chapters. And after that, in like from March to June, is when I'm then going to go back, do red pen, do pro writing, and then do professional editing to then prepare book one to go for sale on Amazon in, I think, like the summer, like summer fall of 2023. Book one is going to be up on Amazon. By that time, summer of 2023, book two will then be in the rotation of being a serial release chapter by chapter. And that's the cycle I'm going to do from 2022 going all the way through to, I believe, 2025 will be when book three will be released on Amazon and a box set of all three of the trilogy. And then whatever my next series of whatever my next book is or my next trilogy or whatever. And this is the cycle I'm trying to do where it's going to take me, you know, you could say a full year of writing the book, editing the book, releasing it as serial chapters, editing it again, and then releasing it as an Amazon book holistically. And that's the cadence. I keep using that. It's going to be my new favorite word. That's the cadence I'm trying to, or the rhythm I'm trying to get into. Um, and if I start that rhythm in like January, that's fine. It doesn't really matter when the rhythm starts as long as I keep on that scale. So when this is releasing chapter by chapter, I'm hoping I can then inject this whole schedule, but then change it to say book two and have it start in, or I could just take those 6 months off, kind of relax and really communicate and conversate with the people who are reading it and then start this whole cycle all over again in January to get book 2 ready to go in 2023. That's also very possible. So we'll see because I may want to break from working on this to kind of really focus on my Friday fiction, focus on my short stories. Oh, that's the other thing. Hold on. I knew I was going to remember something. Um, let's put it over here. I'm bringing back my Friday Fiction podcast. So that's the other thing that I need to, because Substack has a podcast feature to it, um, which I'm excited about. So I'm going to hopefully get that going, but doing it through that. I'm going to do it through that and through Anchor, so that way it's everywhere. Um, but yeah, I want to bring that back in some fashion where at least I'm releasing one, if not two, podcast episodes a month. There will be a break time, obviously, because I'm not writing every week. I'm not doing 52 short stories in a year. That's crazy. I am taking winter and summer breaks every year so that I can unwind and focus on other things and then return to it. So I might just do one podcast episode a month, but record two, so that way during the break of like I'm taking like a month to 2 months off. So basically, I'll be writing 8 months off, 4 months. So during those 4 months, I'll have some episodes that I can release. So it seems like my podcast is every month, but really it isn't. I don't know. I haven't decided yet how that's gonna play out. I don't want to read every Friday fiction story because I know not everyone is gonna be that good that it's gonna deserve to have itself turned into a podcast. But I there was some that I really love. I loved writing it, and I would love to read it out loud for people who would like to hear the audio version. Total here is 17. Editing this. Okay, so 45 days basically to write, edit, and then release out into the world starting on oh, it's actually June 5th. I keep saying June 6th, but it's Sunday, June 5th is when the first episode of the first chapter of the first book of a trilogy will be released to my email subscribers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the first four chapters free, and then everything else will unfortunately be behind a paywall. However, if you don't want to be a paid subscriber, that's okay because in the summer of 2023 of the following year, you can just buy the book all in one go, right? So, I won't blame anyone if they can't afford to be a subscriber to participate in the community that I'm hoping to build that will help me to perfect the story. I get it. And you can just buy it when it comes out as an ebook or paperback or hardcover because now, as you know, Amazon has opened up the beta for hardcover for everyone who's in KDP. So I actually have mine here somewhere. Oh, where I did a test so I could see what their hardcover looks like. So I have it here. Um, So here's my book, Daxton. Let me move it up here. Obviously, it's not for resale. So this is what it basically. I did it wrong. I meant to do glossy for the cover, and then I meant to do cream paper for the interior. For some reason, I did matte finish for the cover and white pages for the interior. So this is like an absolute dud. But really, I wanted to just see how the wrap came out if I did the formatting correctly in Photoshop, which I was off slightly with the width of the spine. But otherwise, the quality of the print is stellar. I just wish I had done picked the right options. I don't know what happened that it came out with white and matte. That's not what I wanted. I thought about doing it again, but it's 15 bucks. 15 bucks. I don't know if I really want to spend 15 bucks. I'd rather wait until this book is done that I'm working on. So when this one is ready to go and have like the print proof copy done for paperback and for hardback, then I'll make sure doubly that I use the right options, which is glossy and interior cream paper. I think for the did I do glossy? Yeah, I did glossy for the paperback, so I'm gonna do glossy for the hardback. Oh, okay. Let's see. What else do I have to plot out for myself? If I'm gonna be doing this, then I should plot out what um my Friday fiction podcast schedule is going to be like. Because I have an idea. Where is my slash? Thank you. Okay. Oh, I need to. No. Teams. Ow. Okay. Hmm. Two, four. Now, for May, I think I'm only doing 2 days in May because vacation is starting. So the last one is 13. So that's 4, 8, 12, 17. I think that's not too bad. If I release two podcast episodes a month, that would be like one every 2 weeks. So if I wrote 17 stories and I recorded 10 of them as episodes, the only issue I can see with that is like in January, both of them would have to be really good because if I'm picking two, those are the only two I will have written in January, right? Um, February, however, I will have written four, so I can pick two of those four to say these are my two favorite. But then the other issue would be um, the release schedule. So how would I work out the release schedule for that? As you can see, I'm just glasses and my hat here. It's because my camera is tilted back. I need to tilt it down, but I'm too tired to do it. I might actually have to go downstairs just to get water. 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 Why is she asking me? about General Mills? Like, oh, sorry, I just needed to answer an email that came through that was not even supposed to be directed at me. I hate when that happens, when people just assume, oh, I must be the knower of all things because I've been around for over a decade. So let me just give her this email, even though she's not on this account or has absolutely nothing to do with this side of business. But sure, why not? It's like, seriously? It's almost a bit insulting. It's like, because I've been here for that long, you shouldn't be just giving me any old crapola to answer for you because you don't want to take the extra step to figure it out your damn self. Sorry, I'm just venting because work has put me in this mood, and I just opened up my like work documents, and it's already so annoying. Oh, and I think what's her name is out today. Frig. Yep, she's out today. It'll wait till Monday then. It will have to wait till Monday. Unless she's out till. No, she can't be. Hold on. I hope she's not out all that time. Okay, hopefully she returns on Monday. Does it say she's out till the 3rd? Which reminds me, I was putting up my out of office the other day and then I got distracted. There we go. Because I am ready to not be here, let me tell you. January 3rd. Okay. All right, so my out of office has been set, so I don't even have to, because I know I'm gonna forget to do it. I usually do, and then I'm like, damn it, I didn't put up my out of office, so it's already set, so it'll automatically turn itself on the 23rd. Which technically I'm gonna be out of office on Wednesday the 22nd, but legally I'm still working till Thursday, till half a day Thursday. So I will set it to automatically come on, but I will have checked out way before then. Let me see if my iPad will turn on now. Why does it say it's 98% charged? That can't be right. Okay. I think my iPad is freaking out because it knows I have an iPad mini. It's like, don't give me up. So I'm gonna update it to the latest OS and then I'm gonna do a factory reset on it. And then pack it up in the box. Oh, welcome back. And I'm still here. Normally when you would leave, right? That's usually when I'm like, well, okay, I'm done. And I sign out and then that's it. But I'm still here because I'm gonna be here until at least noon. And then I'm gonna go downstairs and scrounge around for some lunch. Hopefully my wife will have made something. She's been like, we've been trying to get used to eating eggs 3 times a day, no lie, because we have 8 chickens in our coop right now, and they're going to start laying eggs within the next month. And so it's going to be a lot of freaking eggs. So we're thinking, okay, who in our like town can we give eggs away to? And then how many eggs from that will we then have to be eating because they're going to be producing so many eggs? Um, yeah, I'm going to be leaving in about half an hour. So I'll be here for another 30 minutes and then I'm going to peace out, y'all. This will have been a 3-hour stream. Not bad. So what you missed while you were gone, because I reminded myself that I am bringing back my Friday Fiction 2.0 podcast at some point, and I think I'm actually going to move this to Q2 because um, of what I was just like talking out with myself. Um, which is if I want to release 10 podcast episodes, um, ideally I want to have a bunch of them to choose from. So I don't want to be pressured to be like, okay, starting in January, I want to release 2 podcast episodes. I'm only writing 2 in January, so that's kind of like then that would be the 2 I'd have to read and release, and I don't want to do that to myself. I want to have a few of them and then basically say I'm going to bring back my podcasting, let's say in April. So in April, I will have written 10, or by April, I will have written 10. So of those 10, I have like a plethora now. I can say, well, I liked 5 of these, I liked 6 of these. So I'll read them, record them, and then schedule them to release in April, starting in April, releasing one every 2 weeks. At least that's how I'm planning it out in my mind, because I not only have to write them, but then I have to rate them to say which one I like the most. So then that way I could give myself enough time to record the ones that I liked of the ones that I've written, um, and so on. So I'm wondering if I should write them all in Q1, and then or like in Q1 and Q2 the first half of the year, and then say in June is when I in the summer of 2022 is when I will start releasing them. So then that way I can have all 17 out there, um, and then pick from those. I think that would probably be the best. Um, I would just need to figure out in May how I would read 10 of my Friday fiction, edit, and then prepare them to be released from June to December. I think for this, I'm gonna have to do a breakdown of the entire year and not just um, the first half of the year, just because I don't want to shoot myself in the foot thinking I can do something, and then I look at the second half of the year and I'm like, oh crap, I don't think I can do it. Okay, so June um, is vacation month, so I'm not writing anything. And 2 months, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks there. So July, I return for the 15. Oh wait, 15, 3. And hello, Swift, aka Pendragon, love it. That's kind of like my which I'm not gonna share it, so don't think you're gonna trick me. But Pendragon 21 is very close to what my Twitch handle is, in that it's the name is literarily speaking. So it's got some sort of literature type of phrasing, and then it's followed by a number. And the number it's followed by is the year of my birth, 84. So I will reveal that. So it's a screen name, and then 84 is the 2 digits at the end. But it's similar, um, with using Pendragon with the way mine is. 15, 23, and oh, not 23, 22. 22. Also, happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Um, and all that jazz. Um, I will hopefully be streaming tomorrow some gaming, but you won't find me because you don't know what my handle is. So ha ha ha, but I will be testing it out if I get what I'm expecting to get today, which I have a feeling I'm not going to get it today, that I'm probably going to get it sometime next week. I think UPS is broken or something. Let's see, 5/12, because it's telling me that it's expected today, but I don't think so. I don't think so. 5/12/1926. September is 2/19. October 7. Now here's what I should have done this year that I didn't do and now I am going to do. So November is not going to be is going to be 4 and 11, and then December is all of vacation, and then I'll be back mid-January. So that's how it should be moving forward, where I literally give myself 2 months off. So 8 weeks, an entire month, and then 2 weeks of the month before, and then 2 weeks of the following month. And that's how my vacation meaning I'm not writing Friday fiction during the Fridays contained within that time frame. Okay, so over here we have 3 Fridays, and here 4, and here we have 5, 4, and 2. Okay, so 7, 12 plus 4 is 16. That's 18. So 18 and 18 is 36 minus 1 is 35. If I start writing, or if I start releasing episodes in June 2, 4, it'll be 14 in 2022. I would release 14 of the 35, so 21 of them won't get read. Um, yeah, unfortunately, the name that I wanted, um, I think I had to do a similar thing, and that it wasn't available on Twitch. And I'm almost wondering if the one on Twitch that's not available is because I did get it and I just don't remember what email I used to create that other account. But that's neither here nor there. I created the account with 84 at the end, and it's, good to go. It's also my name on my Xbox, the same. So it's the same name that I use in all of my gaming arenas. Like, I have gaming arenas, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we're gonna do 35. We're gonna be writing 35 stories in 2022. Um, which is that right? You guys think that's right? Because let me see if that's right. One, two, May, three, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. So 35 plus 15 is 50, which is usually 52 weeks, right? So I guess that's right. So yeah, so basically there's 15 weeks out of, or 15 Fridays out of the entire year that I'm not writing a Friday fiction story, which is great because there's 14. Wait a minute. I want to do it that way. Because in my mind, I'm thinking if there's 15 Fridays in the year that I'm not going to be writing a Friday fiction and I want to release 14 podcast episodes, is it possible for me to release a podcast episode every Friday that I won't be releasing a Friday fiction? You get what I'm saying? But if I did it that way, then there would be like four, like that. I'm thinking of a cycle of the entire Friday fiction written and spoken. But what I need to do is treat the podcast as its own entity, meaning if I want people to just love the podcast, regardless of knowing that there's 21 stories that I wrote that I didn't read, then I need to be able to give them a season that's not like, okay, you're going to get 8 episodes here and then 8 episodes 6 months later. Like, that's just, I feel like that would be weird and off putting because it's not how podcasts work, right? Podcasts work either weekly or monthly. I want to do twice a month, so every 2 weeks, and I think I need to keep that cadence regardless. I use cadence again. I feel like I should turn that into a drinking game. I'd be drunk by now. I need to use that cadence regardless of when I'm writing a Friday fiction. But I am going to be releasing them on Friday. So that goes without saying. Um, so what I need to do is make sure I record at least 7 episodes based on what I wrote in Q1 and Q2. Is I don't know why I said that. It made sense in my mind. I think what I need to just do is after I've written these 17 in the first half of the year, at least make sure that half of them are worth me reading and then actually finding the time to read them, which I think is going to have to come in June. That June is going to be the month. So I need to come back here. I'm gonna start releasing them in July because I need to read and record fiction podcast in June. I think at least seven. I feel because I am going to be writing, Friday fiction in July, August, September, and I don't want to discount any of them as like, oh, I'm going to love some of those too, and I'm going to want to read them. But I am, we'll have to see how this plays out because I feel like there's something I'm missing here that the shoe is going to drop where I'm going to say, okay, this is not going to work because of X. Oh man, I just got an awesome email. The screen protector the screen protector for my for this is coming. I just got an email that says it's coming. I've been waiting for it. So this will no longer have fingerprints on it. It will actually have a screen protector. Yay. Because right now there is nothing protecting my iPad mini. So that's why it stays up here. It stays in the cradle. And that's just how it's going to be until I get full on armor protection. Um, and just because hopefully someday these will be actual sponsors for my YouTube channel, but my protection of choice for not just my iPad but also for my iPhone is Spigen. So Spigen is what I use for the screen protector, is what I use for the case, again for both my iPhone and my iPad. I tried the Paperlike for my iPad Pro, not a fan. So I realized that Spigen has their own screen protector that's anti-glare. So I got that, and so I'm gonna see. It's supposed to be similar to like what Paperlike is. I'm gonna see. I'm probably gonna love it more. And then what I'm using for my stands, because everything I have, like my iPhone, is sitting on this. It sits like a cradle, like this. and it sits on my desk. So it makes it so that I can plug it in and have it standing up and I can read off of it. But my iPad has the same thing. It's the same and it's Lamical. And I actually bought my wife the Lamical stand for her um, MacBook because she uses it open. I use my MacBook in clamshell, so I don't need it. But she needs it because her laptop gets hot. And so they have, I didn't even know, again, Lamical has a laptop stand that has two fans built into it. And so you can lift it up and down and do different things and have the fan running. So she actually has that in her office. But those are like the two brands that whenever I need something to hold something up or cover something or anything like that, I go to Lamical and I go to Spigen. Spigen for my iPhone, I've been using since like I don't know, the iPhone 4. Like I've been because they're the only ones that have and I don't even need it anymore because I work from home, but they're the only ones where their case has a kickstand. And so at work, I would always have the kickstand open and have my phone propped up watching TV at work. So that's why I always went with Spigen because they're the only ones that have the best kickstand option. But like I said, now that I work from home, I don't really need the kickstand option. Um, but I still love Spigen. Like I'll use now. I'll just get a Spigen that doesn't have a kickstand and try their other iPhone options that I've always thought was so cool, but I've never gotten because I needed that kickstand so I can prop my phone up at work. Because who isn't watching TV when they're at work in the office? I mean, it doesn't everybody. Actually, no. I'm probably one of the few people who's able to do her job and be watching like something on Hulu or Netflix at the same time. Um, but you shouldn't do that. Wag my finger. But yay, my screen protector Paper Touch Pro, which was in back order, and it said it would ship in 20 business days, and I think I ordered it like a month ago, is now shipping. And apparently, I earned 320 reward points, which I didn't even know Spigen has. Um, Yeah, I'm slowly like I actually asked my wife if tomorrow I can come upstairs to my office and have like a few hours in my office so that I can use my office as a non-working space because it's meant to be both. It's my office, but it's my office for work and it's my office for play. And I feel like this entire week or even this past month, I've been using it for like work and not for play and not for just like this right now streaming with you guys just chatting. And so tomorrow I'm going to stream hopefully again and if I get my dock, then I'm gonna do a gaming stream tomorrow, which would be awesome. Um, but yeah, so tomorrow I will hopefully be back streaming and I might do some bookshelf reorganizing, turn the camera around so you guys can see that, do something about the shelves behind me because that needs a revamp as well because it's just me throwing crap on it, and I want to this is the stuff I want to be behind me, like, this my wife hates these, but these are all the boxes of all of my iPhones that I've gotten since the first one. The very top one up here is the iPhone 3G box. Yes, I keep my boxes for my tech, and all of the iPhones that I've ever had since then are all and this is the other stack of it because if I put it one stack on top of the other, it would literally touch the ceiling. So so I had to do two stacks, but I refuse to get rid of my at least my iPhone boxes. I have thrown out like my iPad. Actually, I might still have the original box of my iPad Pro now that I think about it. I might still have it. I have my iPad 2, the second generation iPad ever is in its original box somewhere in an unopened box, but I still have the original box for that, and the iPad 2 is in that box. And for these phones, I think all of the boxes have the original iPhone in it, except for the 3G and the 4, I think. Or not the 4, the 5, because I gave the 5 to my aunt who needed it. But what I love, let me show you, this is so cool. So This is the iPhone 4. And the iPhone 4, I still have it. I can't believe that I used like this was a huge phone. Like this was a massive phone, the iPhone 4, right? And look at how small it fits in my hand. And then look at it so this is the phone I have now, which is I have the 12 Pro Max. So here's the 4 and now here's the 12 Pro Max. I unfortunately my 3G um yeah, I know because I just got it a few days ago, and there's the box for um the what is it called? What is this thing called? The AirPod Mini. The I don't even know what it's called, but oh, HomePod, the HomePod Mini. My wife got that for me for I think Christmas last year, um, and so I have it sitting. I actually have it, and she couldn't believe it. She came into my office like last week, and she was like, "Do you really have the HomePod Mini sitting on the HomePod Mini box?" I said, "Yes, I do." Got a problem with that? But anyway, so yeah, so I still have the phone. I wish I hadn't given my aunt the 5, the iPhone 5 because I wanted her to give it back when she upgraded and she didn't. For all I know, she probably threw it out. But yeah, so those are the only ones that the phone isn't in the box. But like, I'm almost positive it was the 5. Yeah, the 5 is empty, unfortunately. But I have the phone for every single other one. Like this is the which one is this one? The 6. I didn't do any of the S's. All the S's, my wife actually has all of those. This one I wanted to try the white. So for the 6, I have the white one. Um, and I always sometimes look in here because sometimes I keep like this is the last time I think that headphones came with the phone. And I still have and I have all the stickers. I keep all the stickers. I don't put the stickers or use the stickers, but I keep all the stickers. So anyway, so that's the 6, and then so that means that these must be. You got me looking at all my old iPhones now. What I'm gonna like this one is the 7. Why does this feel empty? Where's my 7? Now I'm really thinking like this should not be empty. What did I do with my 7? Did I give my 7 to somebody? This one is the 10S or the XS, which they stupidly did a Roman numeral. See, this one's in here. Oh, oh my God, look at this. So I even still have the brick. Like I didn't even open the brick. I still have the brick and I still have the charger in here unopened. I didn't even know. Like that's probably because I have like a million of them all over the house, so I didn't even have to open this. I wonder if the stickers might even still be in this one. Yep. The stickers are still I can't focus right, but usually I take the stickers out and I have them all together, but by the time I got to this one, I had everything of everything, and so all I did was take the phone out and use the phone. Crazy. But now I'm like, where the hell is my 7? I don't think I gave the 7 to my wife. Did I? When did the 7 come out? No. Hmm. I could have sworn every box had a phone in it except the newest one, which is this one. This is the newest box. It's so thin. So this one is the one I'm using right now, which is the 12. So I don't know what's in here. Yeah, just the sticker is in here because I never took the sticker out. And that's it. I took out the charger. I had to because this one, I needed the charger that it came with. But yeah, where the frick? I had to ask my wife. I thought I bought her the 7, not that I sent her my 7. Hmm. This is troubling me now. I need to go. I need to do a mad hunt in my house for that phone. Okay, let me put these boxes back now. I actually need to wipe them. They are very dusty. Oh my god. very, very dusty. So hold on, I need to put them in order. I don't even know what's in my 3G box. I even kept the oh, it should be turned around like that. I even kept the when the 3G came out, there was a fancy bag that Apple gave you when you walked out of their store with the phone, and I had actually kept that. But when I moved to LA, I threw it out because I was like, okay, something has to go, and it was that. So I threw it away. Okay, hold on. I need to stand up with this and not drop it. I keep all the boxes in order. Okay. Oh, put those back. But anyway, yeah, so my mini box is back there. I think everything that came with the mini is still in the box because I didn't need a charger for it. I've got like 5 different chargers here that can each charge an iPhone, a MacBook, a, all these I have all these iPhone wires here. So I was like, I don't need to open another one. I even have some over there on my shelf. That's why I need to get this Alex drawer from IKEA so that I can put all these extra, like even just on my desk alone. I already have this brick. I have another brick here that I found on my desk. And these things these come with the laptop thing. Like you take this, you could slide it onto your laptop so you could have that extra long cord. I must have like 10 of these because I don't use them. I don't use it just as the brick. I always use that long extra cord. So I take these pieces off of the brick and then I have them all over the damn house, trying to keep them all together. But I don't know how I've lived without having like a little file cabinet, but I have not had a little file cabinet like ever. Um so I'm finally hopefully gonna get one. When we drive to New Jersey, we have to go for a vet appointment, and that where we're going is like a 2-minute drive to the IKEA that's over there in New Jersey. So we're just gonna hopefully my wife is gonna take me and I'm gonna get to pick it up for all of like $88 and throw it in the back of our car and then hightail it back home. I'm waiting for my iPad to update so that I can then do a factory reset. I probably didn't even need to update it, but that's just the kind of person I am. I'm like, oh, let me update it before I do a factory reset. Okay, no emails. That's great. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. So, going back to my podcast situation here, as I wind down this uh 3-hour stream. So I'm gonna need to think about this a bit more, but this is basically how the breakdown is gonna go. I will write 35 stories, and I'm actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, gonna release probably 12. If I start releasing them in July and I release 2 a month, that means 6 months, 12 episodes out of the 35 that I will have written. The issue I think that I'm not grasping right now is that I technically will not have written all 35 when I start releasing episodes in July. That's the part that I need to figure out is I will have only written 17. So do I want to take 12 of those 17? I think that's what I want to do. I think that's the key because then I will have written them and I can pick of the 17, pick 12 of them, read them, record them in June, release them from July to December, and then the other stories that I will have written, that I think it's 18. So the 18 stories that I will have written from July to November, pick 12 of those, record them in December, and then release them from January to June in 2023. See, I just needed to talk it out to myself in my brain cells because something wasn't right here. I'm like, how am I supposed to pick 12 out of 35. I won't have written 35 stories. I will have only written 17 stories. So I need to, of the 17, five of them will not be read and recorded out loud. Boom, done. That is a great place to end my stream where I solved the riddle. So I want to thank everyone who's been here. All two or three of you who have been watching. I appreciate it. I will be streaming tomorrow. However, I will not be streaming under this name. I will be streaming under my game name. And just because it's going to be like a test stream, I won't even tell you. I'm trying really hard not to reveal what my name is on that other stream because I really want people to just find me organically and not be like writing streamers who happen to find me and might not even be interested in what I'm doing, which is playing video games. Um, so if you find me, great. If you don't, you don't. In January, however, if you do want to know what my name is, I might, whisper it to you. But it won't be something where I'm going to be promoting like actively and vocally because it is two different things. The writing stream is not anywhere near the same as a gaming stream. So keeping them separate but together. And then at some point, if the gaming stream gets off the ground and if it's something that I'm able to continue to do, that I enjoy doing, that grows in viewership and things like that, then it will become something that I will publicly say and connect to me on my website. And I have plans for how that will go. Where if you go to my website, you'll see that I have a gaming stream section and so on and so forth. But until then, um, I'm just gonna be a mystery out there to people who find me and be like, "Oh my god, aren't you like Erica Drayton, the writing streamer?" Be like, "Yeah, I am, but I also game. What up?" Um, so I'm gonna go eat lunch now because I'm hungry because I didn't eat breakfast. So I'm gonna go eat some lunch and then decide if I might stay downstairs. I might just close up shop up here and move my life downstairs and stay down there for the rest of the day. Because it really usually I will come back up here if I either have a meeting or if I have like a plethora or a buttload of reports that I need to do where I need my big monitor to do it. And I don't want to do it on my little laptop. But I don't really have that today. Everything that I have to do today, I can technically do on my laptop alone. So I think this will be the end of the road for me in my office today, but I did a lot. I definitely did my 2022 action plan, which I love. I did my breakdown for my chapter writing. I also did a breakdown for my editing that will all take place in Q1 and Q2. Um, and I did my Friday Fiction Podcast 2.0 breakdown. So I think of all the things that I'm like quote unquote adding brand new to the new year, I have planned out pretty thoroughly and rigorously. So job well done on me for getting that done. I hope you guys have your 2022 breakdowns and action plans all actioned and planned out so the year 2022 comes out victorious. Um, Otherwise, I will see you guys. I want to say I'll be on next week, but to be honest, let me look at my schedule. I feel like I'm going to be just so stressed out from work next week that I may not, um, that it just may not happen. Let me look at my schedule next week. Um, Tuesday I have blocked off, and Thursday I have blocked off. Actually, next week, except for Wednesday, Wednesday is not happening. Like Wednesday is going to be probably one of the worst days of my life, which is why I'm going to be checking out very early on Wednesday from work because Wednesday is going to be a nightmare. I feel it in my bones that Wednesday is going to be a really shitty day next week. But there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to stream next week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And if I get my gaming equipment, I'm probably gonna stream Tuesday, Thursday. Um, and if not, I'll do like my writing stream and come on this way. And I might actually just do Twitch streaming again, especially if I still have access to StreamYard and doing this dual stream, then that's what I'll do. Um, So yeah, so there's a distinct possibility that you will see me next week, but that will be next week will be the last week probably that you'll see me again until the new year because I don't know the week that I have off from work. I have off from like the 23rd until January 3rd. That week, depending on how busy I am or how much free time I have, I may jump on in the middle of the day. I may not. I don't know. The only day I know I have something to do is the 29th. Otherwise, the other days besides Christmas and New Year's and Christmas Eve. I don't know. So with that said, I feel like my voice is going anyway, so I'm gonna go now. Thank you all for being here. Peace.